All right, everybody. It is Steve, the Rogue Scholar, and I'm going to answer a question today. This podcast or this show is answering a question that has been asked to me repeatedly. And, I'm just going to go ahead and add the show title back up here one more time for you guys to realize what I'm saying. And this is such an important subject, and it never seems to penetrate, never seems to stick because everybody is just like got this very, very narrow focus of what is real and what is possible and how we should approach things. And it really is not a battle between electoralism and activism, but it is an understanding that voting is not sufficient. Voting is not sufficient to make change, period. Because you get a person in office, and chances are they're not going to listen to you anyway. There's money flowing through this system. There is a lot of money flowing through the system, and it's flowing into politicians' hands every single day of the week. They are constrained in what they can say, what they will do. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I've never been in elected office. I just know as a human being and as a person depending on these people and watching, folks, watching you all, quite frankly, defend the concept of electoralism, watching you defend the concept of, hey, I just got to do my civic duty and vote. And I've never once said don't vote. Let me just crystal clear. I am not saying don't vote. So anybody that says that I said don't vote, beat the snot out of them with truth. There is no acceptable answer that says I said don't vote. What I'm telling you is this: you have seen zero, and if you tell me you've seen more, you're lying. You have seen zero evidence that casting a vote gets you anything. You've seen zero evidence whatsoever that casting a vote actually equals a vote that is counted. You've actually seen zero evidence that when you do get the person you want in office, that they will fight to the death for your issues that you've put forward, that you elected them to do. You have seen zero proof of any of this. And I'm 53 years old. And in my 53 years, I've seen zero proof of it over and over again. Even when something good accidentally happens, I have still seen 0% proof. And most of the things we deem as good are misguided things that we don't fully understand that are done anyway. Like the American, what is it, the Affordable Care Act, for fuck's sake. Can you think of a worse bill ever? Like before the ACA, we had no access to healthcare. So in that sense, you could have gone to the ER or whatever. But for the most part, it was a shitty bill. It made sure insurance companies are whole, and it made sure you and I have nothing. We have access, but not even affordable access. My bills for my own healthcare suck. So the bills that we do get passed, they have a nice title, they have a nice name, they make us feel nostalgic, make us feel like we did something, but they suck. And they don't actually achieve any of the purposes that we were hoping for. Right? Can we agree to this? Okay. Can we also agree that the squad, forget shitting on them for just a second. Can we agree the squad hasn't done anything for us yet? See, I mean, no disrespect. I'm asking you, show me something that the squad has delivered. Show me something that they have gone down swinging to the bitter end. Show me something that they have not relinquished and fought for. They've not done that. They folded like a cheap tent as soon as pressure got on them. They don't take any of the effort. Think about this. AOC endorsed Nina Turner the day before the election. There had been millions of dollars spent on propaganda for Chantel Brown through the elections. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Nothing. So electoralism, they shut you down. Without the money, you've got nothing. So how do you get something done if you're not getting the people you want elected? How do you get something done if you can't get to the people's front door in their household and get past their television screen with Rachel Maddow talking about how wonderful Biden is or whatever? How do you get past this perpetual blocker, okay, that prevents us from reaching Jane and Joe Public Forget us activists. This is the problem. We think because we're on Twitter, we think because we're on YouTube, we think because we're on Facebook, that somehow or another we're reaching these strange people that if only they knew better, they would vote differently. And it just isn't so. They don't have the time, they don't have the analysis. The only thing they're getting is the mainstream media. They're not actually getting a real honest to God truth telling of what the story is. So each of these candidates compromise, and they are compromised 9 times out of 10. So do your due diligence, do your civic duty, do your voting, whatever it is that you're going to do it. But just remember, it is in and of itself not the answer. It is not the answer that's going to push the table, push the bar. It's not going to do it. So I've said this countless times, and it always seems to fall on deaf ears. When I say, what are we going to do about climate change? When I say, what are we going to do about healthcare? When I say, what are we going to do about rigged elections? When I say, what are we going to do about each of the things, student debt, you name it. People think that the beginning and the ending of that is to cast a vote. People also believe that they can show up to a rally and somehow or another that one rally that they went to, got the selfie, went ahead, got their signs up, marched in place, whatever, talked in a blowhorn, this is what democracy looks like, whatever. They think that they've done their thing. It's one day and then they're done. And that's not how any of this works. That's really not how any of this works. So it's very important that we understand that in order to get anything done, it's got to be beyond the electoral process. Now, remember, I started this fucking video out saying, I'm not telling you not to vote. In fact, I'm telling you to go ahead and vote your conscience. Okay? I'm saying don't rest on that. Don't believe that's the end of the story. If you believe that's the end of the story, then you'll get absolutely nothing. You will get nothing out of this at all. You will be perpetually disappointed. You will be perpetually disempowered. You will be perpetually screwed. We will be perpetually screwed. You see how that works?